Okay, we're live.
Give me the official flag or something. Okay, hey, thanks Drew, I'm Jim. I'm Jim from Center for Creative Education. I'm a percussion instructor here. I've been here for about 7 years. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Center for Creative Education, Drew, who's in the room with me right now, has been here for, I believe, about 20 years. And Ed Mann got it started, and Ed and Drew built up the percussion program and the dance program. And we've been wanting to go live and remote and distance learn, distance teaching, so that people can distance learn, so that people don't need to, if they can't make it here, they can still learn. It's been happening for years now since the internet got stronger and stronger, so we decided let's do this, all right? I think this is as good a time as any. So I teach, I'm a percussionist at a couple of different levels and a couple of different genres, but I specialize here in Brazilian percussion, and I'd love to teach you how to do some of the things we do here, and down the road teach you as many things as we do here and beyond that, because I'm still quite a learner at my age, and that's the most important thing. I'd love for you to learn some of this stuff too. So, just to get right to it, we here at Center for Creative Education in this particular room have quite an array of drums. We have Brazilian drums, we have Cuban drums, we have African drums, we have drums from all the specific countries within the African continent and Central America. They all have their different tastes and beats and rhythms. So we happen to be we're scheduled to have our annual recital in a couple of months, and what I've been doing with my classes here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, here in person, have been teaching a particular Brazilian piece. And so I think that for the way I present things, I think the best way to do it is just to show you how this goes, and see if see if you're interested. Now we need sticks. Sometimes we don't use sticks. These are stick drums right here. This is a Brazilian drum. This is a djembe, which is a Senegalese Guinean drum. This is a hand drum. So we have hand percussion, we have stick percussion, we have all sorts of fascinating types of percussion. We have Nigerian, right here, a Nigerian talking drum. How does it talk? Well, I'm still learning its subtleties of its language, but I do know that when I put this under my armpit and I hit it like this, it sounds kind of low, but just by squeezing these ropes on the side, I can make this thing talk. All right, so we have that. We have bells, we have shakers, we have whistles. I wear a whistle when I lead different musical pieces. So, I'd like to teach us a particular type of music, which comes from central Brazil. It's called samba reggae. It incorporates the South Brazilian Rio de Janeiro samba with reggae, which is a Caribbean, Jamaican style. The two of them together make for one of the most arresting, wonderful beats that I play. So, imagine yourself in your house with a tabletop, for example. Or, I'm going to leave the camera for a moment. Come over here and get they used to be $249 at Lowe's. They might be up to $319, but still, if you don't happen to have a drum in your house, it's really not a problem at all. If you have a tabletop and your hands can take a little banging, very easy to replicate the same beats with your hands that you would with sticks. All right, just don't hit the table too hard. Try not to make too much noise. If you have a room that you can go to and make these noises, that's great. You take a regular old bucket, it's at least fairly clean on the inside, and mainly no liquids in it, but when you turn it over, you'll expose the bottom of the drum. See, I called it a drum. And you can play with your hands. You got a nice bass beat with this. I just happen to have my wedding ring on, and so that makes its own little interesting addition to it without even trying. Oops. It's good to have straps with these sometimes. All right, now, these buckets happen to have a little rim on the edge, and so that can be uncomfortable for your hands, but remember, this is also a stick drum. I'll show you which drums cannot be played with sticks, but most of the drums can be played with sticks. So you take this same thing, you take this bucket, okay? So I'm going to give you some simple beats here, and I want to prove to you that in 1/2 hour, in one of our classes here, 1/2 hour to 1 hour, the beautiful thing about percussion is that you can come in never having played a percussion instrument before, and in an hour's time, when you walk away, you'll walk away with a beat, and you'll walk away with confidence already that you have achieved something, that you have become a member of a band. There's instruments, I love all instruments, but there's some instruments that take quite a while in order to give a person the opportunity and the skill to play a short piece. That's where percussion is so different. It's not an individual, musical form. In our classes here, we sit in a circle, like a drum circle, and we learn how to play the different beats. And it becomes a community effort, which is what the Center for Creative Education has always been all about. Community-oriented, now more than ever, in 2020, now more than ever. Community-oriented, and the proof of which is in what the dance company does, what the dance classes give to young and old alike, what the drumming classes and all the other classes we have here give to people. So now we have the opportunity to do this via video that you can pull up anytime. So as far as the drumming goes, okay, yes, I can play. I've been playing drums for a long time, so of course I can play different pieces by myself, at least one instrument. I can play this thing really loud, really well, and really fast, and make people's jaws drop and go, wow. But you know what? I used to think, ain't a good, aren't I a good boy? But I don't feel that way anymore. I feel like it's nothing without the rest of the band. So when you come in here, some of you will be playing this beautiful bass drum, this surdu. Some of you might be playing this lead drum here, the hepanike. Some of you might be playing this Nigerian talking drum. Some of you might be playing this snare. Some of you might be playing one of these buckets. Some of you might be playing one of these tambourines. But the point is that everybody's going to be playing the same song, and some people are going to be playing different beats, and others are going to be playing other beats, but they're all going to blend together. And like a strong community, it's only as strong as the folks who are still learning. So it's important for all of us to strengthen every other person in the circle or the community here. And when everybody learns and everybody supports each other, then you slowly grow to have this beautiful, beautiful sound. Part of the beauty is that I make mistakes and that others make mistakes, but you just don't hear them, because what we hear is the growing confidence and expertise. So, samba reggae has a basic beat. Remember, this is going to be happening in 2 months. And so you can start practicing this right now if you'd like. And I encourage you to, too. Basic beat for samba reggae. On and on and on. Even more simple. Okay. Remember that. We're going to go back to that. If you add to that bass, and you imagine, say, 4 or 5 or 6 musicians playing that beat on bass drums, 6 different bass drums, of which we have many here. And then you take other instruments, like the snare, and while you have some folks playing, you take that, and you have a couple of snare players. Snare is a challenging instrument, but it's, we have many students who have continued and learned to play this, and then they're hooked. So while you have this, you have the snare going, making, could be one of any couple of beats, but one that really works nicely is daga daga doon, dan dan doon, daga daga doon. Okay, so there's just me right now, but you have daga daga doon, but tuka taka doon. All right? So imagine that. Keep that in your head. We're going to go back to all that. Meanwhile, you have the lead drummer playing a beat on the hepanike, which is sort of like a soloing kind of thing, but also it's the anchor beat, which is meanwhile this is going like this. But what I love to teach as well, which really makes it a visual experience, it really makes it a sonic experience, is and there's a practical aspect to it, is dancing. Dancing while you play. It's really footwork, but the footwork becomes dancing. And I believe in it. And I believe in singing and dancing and playing all at the same time. What, you say? That's impossible, Jim. That can't be. And yet, Drew is laughing behind the camera there, because we know it's possible, because we've seen it happen time and again. We have a band here called the Percussion Orchestra of Kingston, and we have a band leader who is a phenomenal person, phenomenal woman, phenomenal percussionist, and this is part of what we do here. We don't just teach things, we teach encouragement, we model confidence, we model support, we support, and we want everyone who comes in here to take our basic classes to grow and to love them, and to love being here, and to feel the support, and to understand what it's like to become so good at something that you too, even if you're 5 years old, even if you're 10 years old, will then become a mentor to someone who comes in. Because honestly, the young kids who come in here, they enjoy what I do, but you know what they really enjoy? They enjoy being with their peers and seeing their peers here, maybe some of whom have been playing for a while and can give something, offer them something to learn as well. That's what solidifies everything going on here. So I like to incorporate the beat. And then when I say dancing, I mean footwork, but footwork is dancing, as you can see. All I have to do is start turning my body. But what is so practical about it is that it helps you keep the beat. So I'll show you what's going on here. So I'm doing this on a sort of a 2/4 count, which I can explain later on. It's not important. But I'm playing this beat right here, and I'm on the bass, and I play. Okay. Now imagine that I'm playing this, and our band is playing this, or our class is playing this at a recital, at the annual CCE recital, in front of 300 or 400 people. Now, ask yourself if you think there's a difference somehow in the energy when I start doing this. Okay, so I just wanted to make a point there that drumming is not just drumming. Music is not just music. It's more than the sum of its parts. So here at CCE, this is what we do. The dance teachers aren't just dance teachers, which is a big deal anyway. They're dancers. Percussion teachers aren't just percussion teachers, which is a big deal anyway. They're percussionists, they're musicians. And when any child or any adult sets foot in the room here to join one of my classes, I immediately call them musicians because I mean it. And respond to that. It's nice to know that you came in somewhere with not much knowledge of a musician. I think it motivates people to come back. So we got this is going to be playing an instrument and not all the same instruments. So we need to blend all these things together. And so people who's ever on snare is going to be doing the same thing. It's a different beat, but everybody's going to be keeping time with their feet. They're going to be dancing with their feet, keeping time. This girl's going to be going dunk 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 dunk. Hoping you're getting the picture here. In this room with all these drums and this one person standing here who has a profound love for all this stuff. And this instrument here. I'm trying to think of all right. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the end of this piece. What I teach the band is the piece, but with different breaks thrown in there. I'm not going to go into that now because I think what I'd like to do, I'd like to shift gears, give you sort of a tour of more of the instruments, and also I'd like to give you some real basic patterns that you can use at home right now, if you'd like. I've been using stick instruments right up until now, And now I'm going to move away from this samba reggae. Now just keep in mind that that's what we're working on. And when we do this again, I'll teach you a little bit more. Okay, so now that I've given you the more complex stuff, I want to give you some simple stuff. Whenever new students come in, I always start with hand drumming because I want them to feel the instrument. This is a djembe, Senegalese. It has a natural feel. Natural skin is different from the heads of these particular Brazilian drums. These have plastic heads, all right? These are handy when we're playing outside and it's damp out, or it's humid, or it's actually raining. But you can hear the difference between this and this immediately. Sharp. This, bass, but also warm. Not just a bass sound, but a warm bass sound. Okay. Next, on the djembe and on enhancer instruments, you have the bass tone. You have the bass. So you have bass, tone, slap. And slap is, you just have to keep your hands relaxed like this, all right? Not limp, sort of a shape to them, but not common to hit the drum like this and keep your hand on the drum. And I'm going to show you what the difference is between the two. Split second too long. The sound that comes out is this. So you're actually muffling the head of the drum. Describe it to young and old alike is to imagine that this head of this drum is really, really, really hot, like hot coals. You're going to burn yourself, and you don't want to do that. So imagine your hand is you jumping on a trampoline. Yes, if I keep my hand on too long, but if I imagine that I'm jumping on a really hot trampoline, I'm going to do this. I'm almost pulling my hand away as I'm striking the drum. And the sound is what you want. Now, of course, you're going to waste that good technique if you keep the drum on the floor, because the djembe has a hole in the bottom of it. This is where the sound comes out. Now, if you put it flat on the floor, you're going to muffle it. So it's going to sound like this. Kind of amazing, right? There's nothing else I'm doing except sitting on the floor. I'll show you the difference. Just by tilting it forward, just by opening that little space on the bottom, that allows the sound to come out. That's absolutely necessary. So the best technique is to just sort of cross your legs, put the djembe in here, tilt it forward, don't tilt it back. That's another very common mistake. New students think that they need to tilt it backward in order so that it's facing, but that's actually not good for your wrist. And you can see it's not natural either. Your hands are locked back here. So if you just cross your feet and you tilt the djembe away from yourself, now you see that you have a line right here, a straight line, and that invites perfect fluid movement so that you can just practice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing fancy. Now you can go through 4 beats of bass, and then 4 beats of tone, and 4 beats of slap, and then back to 4 beats of bass. So let's try that. This is a Brazilian, sort of a Brazilian djembe called it sounds from bass to tone to minutes left. And maybe we'll do a quick review of samba reggae. Let's see, how else can I juice you up? Oh, I am definitely going to finish a little bell tone. Same with this, playing the bell, muffled or open. Really, there's so much here. Drew offered me a daunting task, which is to incorporate everything I know about percussion into a starting point. Not necessarily a short opening, but something to think about. Anyway, I'm going to finish up with a review of samba reggae, which comes from Bahia, by the way, in Brazil, a little bit north of Rio de Janeiro. So I think in our final minute, our final 30 seconds perhaps or so, here's how we finish a typical class: 4 to 5 on Tuesdays when we're open, and 5 to 6 on Thursdays. Everybody's jamming away. I have everybody do a solo. 4, 3, 2, 1, somebody does a solo. 4, 3, 2, 1, somebody else does a solo.